What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video by Roam Free Consultants. Today we're going to be taking a look at some alternative navigation options that would be good to have and good to have access to in the event of an emergency, disaster, natural disaster, as well as larger events like grid power failure, anything like that. It's really good to have alternative means to navigate and find your way, without relying just on your cell phone. I think a lot of us have kind of gotten used to, our Google Maps or Apple Maps and different apps on our phones that we can rely on all the time. But, if you're without, cell service or your battery's dead on your phone, it's always good to have backup options to help you navigate to get your way back to safety or to get back home. So today we'll look at some of the options that I carry, either as part of my everyday carry in my truck, in my bag that I always carry with me, as well as some of the things I keep here at home, some of the items I take with me on camping trips, hiking trips, when I go fishing or go riding my dirt bike with some of my friends and some of the off-highway trails around here in the Pacific Northwest. So let's go ahead and start right up front here. Take a look at some of the basic items. So some of the basic items, for navigation are just having a decent quality compass. You don't have to spend, much money here to get a good quality compass that's reliable. I just recommend that whichever compass you do decide on, make sure that you practice with it, get used to it, read the instruction manual that comes with it. Definitely recommend, taking a basic, wilderness navigation course. There's tons of good content out there, on YouTube, but a lot of those courses are also taught, at like REI and different, outdoor stores. Definitely good to get training to go along with it. So this example here is just a Brunton classic compass. This is one of the first compasses I actually ever got. This one's been really good over the years. I keep it as part of my outdoor emergency pack when I go ride my dirt bike or go hiking. All right, another really good quality compass. I actually just got this recently, is by Suunto. This is the A30. This one is set up for Northern Hemisphere, USGS style. Make sure that you get the right compass to be used with whatever type of maps you're going to be carrying, and the right unit of measurement for those maps as well. This one by Suunto, really good quality. These are around $30 or so. And you can't go wrong with Suunto. Suunto, Silva, all good brands, as well as some of the military style, like Linsatic compasses are good. Again, very important to get training, learn about magnetic declination and things like that. Learn how to, plot a course using your maps. So always good to have a good quality compass. And always good to have kind of a backup compass. It doesn't have to be, super fancy. This one here has proved to be pretty reliable. It's decent just for general, orientation to help you get, idea of where north is and what direction you're heading. This one's also on like a survival match container. So there's a lot of, waterproof matches inside of here. This one also has a emergency whistle, which is nice in case you need a signal for help. But always good to have kind of a backup compass. Suunto also has a small version, really small to fit on your keychain. Definitely good to check those out as well. All right, next up are just a couple maps that I've got here. This is an example of having maps specific to either the area that you're going to be traveling in or exploring in. More detailed maps for the area that you plan to explore or to travel is really good. We'll take a look at some other maps as well. They're a little more general, a little bigger, but whenever you can, always good to have a good close-up map. You can actually get maps from the USGS directly, for your immediate area if you're looking to put together a navigation kit to help you get back home. But anytime I go out, hiking or go ride my dirt bike, I always go up to, kind of the little information stations that they have set up there at the trailhead or at the staging area and get a good quality paper map. And then I always put it in a a Ziploc bag. You could also put it in a map protector or something like that. But here's another one that I got on another trip recently. It's always good to have good quality maps. All right, another kind of little bonus item here. You may have seen this from my outdoor emergency bag video. This is just a piece of paper that has a bunch of printed out, survival resources here on it, including, navigating by the stars. This covers northern and southern hemisphere, for celestial navigation. Also talks about how to set up, a sundial. There's steps to distance conversion tables here as well for miles, steps, kilometers, meters. A lot of good information on a small piece of paper here, as well as there's other, bushcraft, fieldcraft resources here for purifying water, setting up snares, setting up shelters. So definitely good to have those resources. All right, next up, we're going to look at just a very general, Write in the Rain notebook. If you haven't seen these Write in the Rain notebooks, they're more, all-weather, rain resistant, good for taking notes or writing down, waypoints, rally points, any terrain features that stand out. Always good to have a way to take down notes for yourself, just for orientation, for where you're at, but also if you need to leave notes behind for other people in your party or people that might be looking for you. There's also some really good information here for map scales and measurements with US to metric conversions, metric to US. A lot of information here on this small notebook. All right, and anytime you're dealing with paper maps or a notebook like that, it's always good to have a way to make markings on your map, to plot a course or to leave notes for yourself. I always keep a couple good quality mechanical pencils. Make sure it's got plenty of lead and good eraser there. I also keep an ultra fine point Sharpie just in case I need something a little more permanent. And also good to have a couple, high contrast ways to mark either on your map or in your notes as well. I always keep a red pen as part of my navigation kit, especially for things that you need to watch out for, be wary of, terrain features, or anything that you want to make note of, maybe separate from your course plotting with your pencil. You could also do that with a highlighter. Any good highlighter will work, just something that's high contrast to mark things kind of outside of your normal pencil plot there. All right, next up, in all of my vehicles, I keep, since we live here in the Pacific Northwest, I keep a Western States map as well as a small kind of packable state map as well, to get a little more detail just for the state that I'm in. I always keep additional maps too for surrounding states whenever I'm going on a trip. I always take those with me. I've got like Arizona, Washington, Nevada, Utah, California. Always good to have extra paper maps. All right, here we're going to look at some of the electronics, and we'll look at some of my bigger, atlases and things that I carry in my truck kit. So first here is the Garmin inReach. If you're not familiar with these, the Garmin inReach series as a whole, serves as like a satellite communicator. This is the larger version. They have a smaller version as well that's also a satellite communicator. Allows you to send text messages, in non-emergencies, just to family members, loved ones, friends. Let them know you're okay, you made it to camp okay, or to your staging area. But also in an emergency, it lets you send emergency messages, and it has this SOS button here that you can transmit to local search and rescue or local authorities, without any cell service at all. This completely relies on the Garmin inReach satellites and their like dispatch center to help dispatch help to you in the event of an emergency, or if you hit that SOS button. So search and rescue, police, fire, EMS can all be alerted. Really nice kind of extra insurance policy. A lot of the newer cell phones have that capability as well, some of the newer iPhones, but I always take this Garmin with me. And this one, the inReach Explorer, has the addition of a nice screen with GPS built in as well. So you can actually navigate with this Again, if your phone is disabled for whatever reason, you're unable to use it, this will always have a signal and be able to pick up as long as the satellites are still up and running. You can navigate with this. All right, another good option. This one is also by Garmin. I've had this with me for quite a long time. I think going on about 10 years now, when I've gone on road trips all across the United States and up into Canada. Really good to have a good navigation system. If your vehicle doesn't have onboard navigation, this is kind of a good backup option to that, to your phone. This is a Garmin Nuvi with the larger screen. I think it's about a 7-inch screen. This has helped me in some situations where, I had no cell phone service. I was out on a really rural, logging road, needed help navigating to get back to, the main highway in order to get back to civilization. I was about an hour outside of cell service, traveling at, pretty high speeds, about 60 miles an hour to get back into cell service. It would take about an hour. So always good to have additional GPS option there. All right, and another cool option you guys might have downloaded on your phone, like Gaia maps or Onyx, like the hunting app. You can also put them on your tablet. I like to kind of load up the maps onto my tablet at home, just on Wi-Fi for any area that I'm going to be exploring, and that way I have it with me. Just kind of another version of having a paper map that you can zoom in to different detail and view different roads or trails in that area that you're going to be exploring. So highly recommend checking out Gaia. If you haven't seen that before, we'll go in that in more detail in a future video. Onyx is another really popular one that a lot of my friends use that go hunting. So definitely check out some of those resources. All right, next up here is a road atlas. This one is by National Geographic. This is more of their adventure edition, which has all 50 states as well as Canada and Mexico. Covers all the national parks. Covers some really good detail for kind of off-grid adventures and things like that in each state. Things to check out, areas to camp or explore. Really good to have an overall road atlas for all the states, just in case, if you ever need to evacuate in an emergency or something like that, or relocate. I would highly recommend having a good quality road atlas in your vehicle. All right, and next up here, I also keep more like state-specific paper maps. These ones are great. These are by Benchmark Maps. You can pick these up at like Barnes and Noble, Sportsman's Warehouse, Cabela's, Bimart, Amazon. You can get them as well. Get them online. These have really nice landscape and recreation maps and guides. Really detailed roads, and they show the public lands, which is great. So really good to have. I always kept this as a backup, when going hunting, hiking, overlanding on a lot of our camping trips. This is a really good backup to have. So definitely recommend having it for your state and in any of the surrounding states that you're going to be exploring. So I've got, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Utah, all the states that I visited during some of these trips. So, well, that's it for this video. Just a quick, kind of general overview of some good, backup navigation options. Let me know down in the comments some of the things that you carry or items that you would recommend adding to this kit to make it even have more capability. And if you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps support us so that we can keep coming out with content like this for you for future videos. And again, that's it for today, everyone. I hope you all have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay prepared, and we'll catch you next time.